Is the allure of a superstar worth sacrificing the very soul of your franchise? Are the Chicago Bulls on the verge of making a championship or bust gamble that could shatter their promising future? Welcome, basketball fanatics, to a special report that cuts through the noise and dives deep into the heart of a potential seismic shift in the NBA landscape. We're talking about the whispers, the rumors, the tantalizing possibility of Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Greek freak donning a Bulls jersey. It's a dream scenario for many, a headline grabber, a move that could instantly elevate Chicago into the championship conversation. But as any seasoned general manager will tell you, every dream trade comes with a harsh dose of reality, and in this case, that reality might just be the painful sacrifice of a young, burgeoning talent, Matas Buzelis. This isn't just about swapping players. It's about trading timelines, sacrificing depth, and potentially derailing a carefully constructed future for the fleeting promise of immediate glory. So, grab your popcorn, settle in, because we're about to dissect why this blockbuster, while undeniably exciting on paper, could be the most dangerous gamble the Bulls have ever considered. The timeline mismatch, a generational divide. Let's get straight to the heart of the matter, folks. Giannis Antetokounmpo, a living legend, a two-time MVP, a champion. He's a force of nature. But let's not sugarcoat it. As of 2025, he's 31 years old. He's under contract for several more seasons, with a cap hit north of $54 million in 2025 to 26. He's in the prime of his career, no doubt, but that prime has already seen its share of mileage, its share of battles. Now, contrast that with Matas Buzelis. This kid is a mere 21 years old. He's the embodiment of potential, a long, athletic wing, precisely the kind of modern asset that front offices covet as the bedrock of a multi-year championship window. He's raw, yes, but his ceiling is sky-high. This, my friends, is where the fundamental mismatch lies. You're talking about pairing a 30-plus-year-old superstar whose peak years are already partially behind him with a raw, developing young core. This isn't building. This is attempting to force two distinct timelines into one. And in the NBA, that's a recipe for disaster. We've seen it before. The two-timeline team, where one part is built for immediate contention and the other for future development. It rarely works. It creates internal friction, conflicting priorities, and ultimately a fractured identity. What happens if Giannis, through the inevitable wear and tear of an NBA career, through injury, or simply the natural progression of age, begins to decline in 2 or 3 years? The result could be a hollow victory, a fleeting moment of glory, and the irreversible loss of long-term potential. And let's be brutally honest, trading away Buzelis along with the likely bevy of other assets could leave the Bulls with a gaping hole in their future foundation. If this Giannis gamble doesn't pay off, there's no guarantee that the next generation will be there to pick up the pieces. This isn't just a trade, it's a bet against time itself. 2. Supporting cast and depth. The ghost of emptiness superstars, especially those of Giannis's caliber, don't come cheap. It's never just one player. The reports are clear. Any realistic demand for a blockbuster trade involving the Greek freak would undoubtedly include more than just Buzelis. We're talking about multiple core pieces, a treasure trove of draft picks, and the intricate dance of salary matching. Imagine this scenario. The Bulls send out Buzelis, perhaps another rotation player or two, a handful of precious draft picks, and the necessary salary to make the deal work. What are you left with around Giannis and your promising young backcourt? Likely a skeleton crew, a collection of minimum contract fillers, and a prayer. Depth, my friends, is the lifeblood of any championship contender. In a league where injuries are an unfortunate reality, where wear and tear are constant companions, and where roster turnover is a perpetual motion machine, a thin supporting cast is often the death knell for even the most ambitious win-now pushes. We've witnessed countless cautionary tales throughout NBA history. Teams that mortgage their future for a single star, only to find themselves crumbling under the weight of a depleted roster when the pressure mounted, especially in the crucible of the playoffs. There's no magical formula that suggests the Bulls would be immune to this fate. This isn't just about acquiring a star. It's about the devastating ripple effect on the entire roster. 3. On-court fit, the spacing conundrum now. Let's talk about the X's and O's, the tactical intricacies that often get lost in the excitement of a potential superstar acquisition. One of the most significant hurdles to this hypothetical pairing is the critical issue of floor spacing and overall on-court fit. Giannis, as we all know, is a terror around the rim. His relentless attacking presence in the paint draws defenders like moths to a flame. But for that to be truly effective, for that gravity to create opportunities, he needs shooters, genuine perimeter threats surrounding him. He needs space to operate, lanes to drive, and outlets for his powerful kickouts. Meanwhile, you have a player like Josh Giddey, recently locked into a 4-year deal, who thrives with the ball in his hands, orchestrating the offense, and needing driving lanes to truly unleash his playmaking abilities. If a trade for Giannis necessitates sending away your best shooters, your floor-stretching forwards, or your spacing bigs, what are you left with? A clogged offense, a paint area as congested as rush hour traffic, and a potential nightmare of inefficient half-court sets and forced isolation plays. This could completely negate the perceived upside of having Giannis on the roster. The synergy, the flow, the very essence of a modern NBA offense could collapse under the weight of poor spacing. Now, let's be fair. The upside, if the spacing issues are miraculously solved, is terrifyingly good. Imagine Giannis drawing double teams, kicking out to open shooters. Imagine Giddey orchestrating in transition, finding Giannis streaking to the rim. That's a physical, fast, downhill attack that few teams could withstand. And defensively, Giannis instantly solves many of Chicago's interior woes. Rim protection, rebounding, help defense, issues that have plagued the team for years. But that upside, that tantalizing vision, requires perfect construction, a delicate balance that is incredibly difficult to achieve in the cutthroat world of the NBA. And perfect construction, my friends, remains an elusive beast. 4. Opportunity cost. The path not taken the Chicago Bulls right now are in an enviable position. They possess something that many teams in the league would kill for: youth, valuable draft capital, significant cap flexibility, and a developing core. They are not under immense pressure to win now at all costs. By holding on to Matas Buzelis, by safeguarding their precious draft picks, and by maintaining their financial flexibility, the Bulls have the opportunity to build intelligently. They can patiently fill out their roster with crucial complementary pieces, 3 and D wings, defensive anchors at center, and reliable shooters. They can wait for the stars to align, for the right opportunity to present itself, without having to bleed their core dry. Alternatively, they could pursue a younger, max-level free agent, perhaps in the 26 to 28 age range, offering both immediate upside and longer contractual control, all without gutting their existing core or sacrificing their future draft stock. A Giannis for whatever the cost might be trade is, in essence, a hype trade. It transforms a seemingly thoughtful, long-term rebuild into a frantic, short-term sprint. And in the NBA, as history has repeatedly shown, sprints rarely withstand the relentless pace of wear, the devastating impact of injuries, and the grueling grind of an entire season. This isn't just about what you gain, it's about what you irrevocably lose. Emotional and organizational context. The peril of chasing flash for legions of Bulls fans. The mere thought of Giannis Antetokounmpo in a Chicago jersey is enough to ignite a firestorm of hope, a perceived shortcut to immediate relevance. But let's be honest with ourselves. We've seen this movie before. The quick trades, the immediate expectations, the ultimately disappointing seasons. The distant and even recent memories of past rebuilds, of Band-Aid trades, and of short-term fixes that ultimately failed to deliver make this potential move feel inherently dangerous. From the perspective of the front office, making a splashy, headline-grabbing move like this might feel like a way to save face, to appease a hungry fan base. But it could also, in the long run, erode their hard-earned credibility. Building a sustainable culture around youth development, a clear defensive identity, and a patient approach requires unwavering commitment. Betting it all on a 30-plus-year-old superstar, no matter how dominant, could jeopardize that very foundation. This isn't just about basketball, it's about the organizational philosophy, the very ethos of the franchise. 6. What we know right now: Giannis' real value and trade realities. Let's ground ourselves in the current realities of the NBA. Giannis's contract for the 2025-26 season carries a cap hit of approximately $54.1 million. For any franchise, absorbing that colossal salary, while simultaneously constructing a trade package that satisfies the Milwaukee Bucks, is a monumental undertaking. The rumors swirling in 2025 suggest that Giannis might indeed be exploring his options, looking for a new challenge, a new home. But even among the league's perennial contenders, many front offices are exhibiting a newfound caution. After years of splashy moves, of inflated contracts, and of the relentless pursuit of super teams, the conventional wisdom is shifting. Trading away multiple first-round picks and sacrificing promising young core members for a single star is increasingly viewed as an overly risky proposition, a gamble with too many variables. For the Chicago Bulls, this evolving landscape presents a unique opportunity. Their offer, a combination of young assets like Buzelis, significant cap flexibility, and a clear, well-defined timeline for future success, might actually be more attractive to the Bucks than some of the win-now packages from other teams. But this is only true if both sides are willing to bet on long-term stability over the fleeting promise of short-term glory. It's a delicate dance, a high-stakes negotiation where patience and foresight could ultimately triumph over desperation. 7. Conclusion: a risky proposition, not a panic move, my friends. Trading Matas Buzelis and a host of other assets for Giannis Antetokounmpo is, without a shadow of a doubt, a high-stakes gamble. The upside, the tantalizing vision of a legitimate contender built around a generational superstar, is undeniably tempting. A Giannis plus Giddey tandem, surrounded by the right complementary pieces, could be an absolute force. But the risks, the potential pitfalls, are equally enormous. The loss of invaluable youth, the depletion of crucial roster depth, the crushing burden of a massive cap hit, and the ever-present specter of a championship window that could rapidly fade once Giannis's inevitable decline begins. The Chicago Bulls do not need to mortgage their entire future for a fleeting moment of hype. They have a clear, viable path forward, continue to nurture and develop their promising young core, maintain their precious financial flexibility, draft wisely, and systematically build a genuine, sustainable foundation for success. If they commit to this path, they will become contenders, not just for one season, but for a sustained multi-year window. If they choose to trade for Giannis, they are betting it all, pushing all their chips to the center of the table, and hoping that a single transcendent star can unilaterally tip the scales in their favor. That, my friends, is the fundamental difference between a calculated, intelligent rebuild and a desperate all-or-nothing leap. For now, the safe, the smart, the strategically sound path is clear. Retain Matas Buzelis. Let the future unfold organically. Let it build. Let it grow. What do you think, Basketball Nation? Is the lure of Giannis too strong to resist, or should the Bulls stay the course and protect their future? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more in-depth analysis and passionate sports journalism. We want to hear your voice.